U.S. President Joe Biden applauds President Buhari's commitment to constitutionality in Nigeria's democratic enterprise. Youth-led travel, relief and excitement as second Niger Bridge opens to commuters. Plus, new Naira notes. Correspondent looks at availability. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja. Michael Olale will join us from Lagos. And you can follow this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on the screen. U.S. President Joe Biden has expressed absolute confidence in the ability of President Muhammadu Buhari to supervise the conduct of free, fair, and credible elections in 2023. At a strategic meeting with leaders of 6 African countries facing elections next year, the U.S. leader particularly lauded President Buhari for demonstrating a high sense of commitment to constitutionality in Nigeria's democratic enterprise. State House correspondent Adamawa has details.
Apart from President Muhammadu Buhari, the high-level meeting with the U.S. President Joe Biden was also attended by his counterparts from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Gabon, Liberia, Madagascar, and Sierra Leone. Discussions held behind closed doors centered on the forthcoming elections in their respective countries and sustainable democracy in Africa. The meeting, President Biden said, is not about the U.S. raising the alarm bell or claiming to be having concerns and solutions, rather to encourage them towards ensuring that balloting is free and fair in their countries.
He singled out Nigeria and Mr. President for praise. These countries have their representatives, their ambassadors in Nigeria, and who are seeing that, Mr. President has never sought to interfere or to manipulate elections and election results. And of course, this has been seen in the recent past with governorship elections, in which the ruling party candidates have not won. And, and Mr. President has welcomed those results and, as the people speaking. And I think the international community now recognizes that he really is a Democrat, not just in words, but in action. It's a recognition of the legacy of Mr. President, which is a non-interference in the electoral processes, and that votes will count and count decisively.
President Biden told the African leaders that his administration is prepared to do everything it can towards supporting the forthcoming elections in their countries being free, fair, and credible.
President Biden, I think, was talking about enabling environment for democracy to flourish. Things like education, health, and all those quality of life, issues that contributes to, a society being prosperous and therefore able to make the democracy thrive. And job creation, and just the economic support and other aspects, and so he feels that in those areas where the U.S. can support, that they certainly would do so.
During the engagement, President Buhari restated his commitment to not only credible elections in Nigeria, but also a smooth transition to the next administration as a matter of obligation. He commended the United States for continuously supporting Nigeria's democratic enterprise, which he said will not be taken for granted. From Washington, D.C., Adamawa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Joe Biden of the United States says improving Africa's infrastructure is central to his administration's vision of building a stronger global economy that can better withstand the kind of shocks witnessed in the past few years. Consequently, the president announced a $350 billion investment package for what he called Digital Transformation with Africa initiative aimed at ensuring that people across the continent participate actively in digital economy. This was while addressing the U.S.-Africa Business Forum as part of the ongoing Leaders Summit in Washington, D.C., from where Adamawa again reports.
My administration's engagement with Africa and the priority we place on these relationships began on day one. Because when Africa succeeds, the United States succeeds. Quite frankly, the whole world succeeds as well.
The U.S.-Africa Business Forum, attended by President Muhammadu Buhari and dozens of other heads of state and government, has as its theme partnering for a prosperous and resilient future. It is aimed at advancing two-way trade and investment partnerships that bolster Africa's role in the global economy, scale innovation and entrepreneurship, as well as drive advancements in critical economic sectors.
Together, we want to build a future of opportunity where no one is left behind. Today, I'm announcing that the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation is investing nearly $370 million in new projects, $100 million to increase the reliable, clean energy for millions of people in sub-Saharan Africa, $20 million to provide financing for fertilizer to help smallholder farmers, particularly women farmers, increase the yields of their crops, $10 million to support small and medium-sized enterprises that help bring clean drinking water to communities all across the continent.
Africa's economic transition, President Biden said, depends largely on good governance, healthy populations, and reliable as well as affordable energy. And the United States is committed to supporting every aspect of inclusive growth on the continent.
The United States is signing an historic memorandum of understanding with the new African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. This MOU will unlock new opportunities for trade and investment between our countries and bring Africa and the United States even closer than ever. This is an enormous opportunity for Africa's future, and the United States wants to help make those opportunities real. 1.3 billion people and a continent-wide market totaling $3.4 trillion.
During the forum, attended by business leaders from across the United States and Africa, several deals were signed as a concrete proof of an enduring commitment towards cementing new kind of partnerships between the United States and Africa that will spur shared success.
I think the U.S.'s focus has been on moving the relationship with the continent from one of aid to one of trade, and then moving from trade to investment. And today they announced a $300 billion commitment via the IDC, which has been restructured, and now they want to make equity investments across the world with a big focus on Africa because of the opportunities. I think that we must commend our president, President Muhammadu Buhari, who has led a solid initiative to project the country on the international stage, and that's a big plus. And I think with initiatives of this nature, when the commitments the U.S. is making materialize into actual investments into the continent, Nigeria will get a large share of those investments. AfroExim today signed a $500 million commitment. African Finance Corporation, which is also Nigeria-based, also signed a $500 million commitment. So at least when it's not just a talk show, people are walking away from here with bankable documents in their hands, and we are looking forward to the deployment of these funds.
The U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit continues. From Washington, D.C., Adamawa, NTA News.
And for news back in Nigeria, it was relief and excitement as commuters rode through the second Niger Bridge for the first time, following its temporary opening by the federal government. Uchenna Nwekoyo reports.
It was usually a hectic experience crossing to Onitsha from the western part of Nigeria, especially during the Christmas and New Year festivities. For 34-year-old Israel Akobeze and other commuters, it is a huge relief that after several years of hearing about the second Niger Bridge, it is now a reality.
We thank the government and every other person that is involved in making this come true.
I mean, I'm from Asaba. It took me like, I don't know, less than 5 minutes to get here to this point, which is on the usual bridge. We're talking upwards of 2 hours on a good day. We're very happy, we're very excited, and we're grateful to God. This is like a gift to the Southeast.
It's a very good experience. At least the road is free, and they did a solid work here.
In my adult life, I know that this project has been on the drawing board for many years, and previous government refused to do it. So we must give credit to the current government that actually started it.
The federal government opened for traffic the second Niger Bridge for 30 days, beginning from 15th of December to alleviate the sufferings of motorists who are usually trapped in traffic gridlock on the existing bridge.
We have not started collecting toll. Nobody should collect money from you to use this bridge until later when we finish in the new year. So this period, free.
For Akubeze and other motorists, riding through the bridge makes driving much more easier and enjoyable in Onitsha. Uche Nawekoyo, NTA News.
What seems like a mirage has now turned to reality as motorists are seen plying the newly constructed second Niger Bridge following its temporary opening. Chinyere Okoli, who captured the mood of travelers, reports that such a move will ease the horrible encounter experienced by commuters during the festive season.
Close to Christmas every year, many passengers and motorists are forced to sleep on the road onwards to Onitsha due to bottleneck on the old bridge, compounded by indiscipline on the part of motorists, especially commercial drivers. But today, the story has changed, courtesy of the federal government, as the second Niger Bridge has been opened, but with the exception of the heavy-duty trucks. While expressing their joy to newsmen, some travelers still recall their experiences with trepidation as they expressed appreciation to the government.
Fine, it's a beautiful arrangement. I like it.
When I reached Tipa Junction, they told me to divert and take the new bridge. So it's okay. It's okay.
I appreciate federal government, especially President Buhari is doing well. At least this one will ease the stress of the travelers for this fiesta period.
From what we have been passing a few years ago, this place has been a very rough area. What I mean is that the hold up, we go slow here during the festive season. Even before the festive season, like today, if you hold up, and sometimes we have a lot of accidents here. So this second Niger Bridge, the opening of the second Niger Bridge is a welcome development.
The second Niger Bridge is going to help us, especially the congestion of this first Niger Bridge.
The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, on Wednesday, 14th December, inspected the second Niger Bridge in Asaba. Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
Some politics now. The APC governorship candidate in Adamawa State, Senator Aishatu Ahiru Ahmed Binani, says she will add value to the lives of the people in Adamawa State through result-oriented projects and programs. She stated this at the flag-off of the construction of township roads in Gombe local government area of the state. Nafisatu Abdulhamid Dembos reports.
Gombe Township roads has suffered neglect for years, exposing both the residents and commuters to untold hardship. Respite has now come to them with the award and flag off of the road construction by the APC governorship candidate in Adamawa State, Senator Aishatu Ahmed Binani. He said the project will, among other benefits, open up access for investment opportunity and improve the socio-economic well-being of the people. Aishatu Ahmed Binani said the project marks the beginning of the reconstruction of all major roads in Gombe because of its economic potentials and historical background.
It is an APC promise that when come into power, inshallah, dividend of Gombe local government will receive dividend of democracy.
The district head of Guyaku, Usman Ibrahim, thanked the senator for the giant project towards ameliorating the sufferings of the people in Gombe. When completed, the road is expected to bring development and improve economic activities in the area. Meanwhile, Senator Aisha Tudairu Ahmed Binani has commiserated with the victims of fire disaster in Jambutu, Yola North, which destroyed property worth millions of naira and prayed Allah to avert future occurrence. In Yola, Nafisa to Abdul Hamid Dembos, NTA News.
And you're watching NTA Network News. Still ahead. Monitor the availability of new Naira notes. Stay with us.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), in collaboration with the National Broadcast Commission (NBC), Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria (ACON), and the Nigerian Police Force is hosting a stakeholders summit on political campaign financing and vote buying as we approach the 2023 general elections. Those invited to attend are the chairman of all political parties, candidates in the 2023 general elections, chief executive officers of broadcast stations, and the press. The summit is scheduled to hold on Monday, 19th December 2022. Venue: NAF Conference Center, Ahmadu Bello Way, Jabi, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Speakers at the summit are Chairman INEC, DG NBC, Executive Chairman EFCC, Chairman ICPC, DG ACON, and the Inspector General of Police. Balarebe Shehu Ilela, Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, announcer.
Introducing an all-time mega offer. Get over 50% discount in the Airtel Home Broadband mega offer. Buy a router for just 10,000 naira and get up to 240 gigabyte or a MiFi for 5,000 naira and get up to 125 gigabyte bonus data. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband bar.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed Monday, 12th December 2022 to Sunday, 22nd January 2023 as the dates for the collection of PVCs nationwide from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including Saturdays and Sundays. All registrants who are yet to collect their PVCs or requested for transfer of registration, as well as those who applied for replacement of lost or damaged PVCs, can now visit INEC local government offices where they intend to vote to collect their PVCs. Collection of PVCs will be further extended to ward level for those who are unable to collect theirs at local government offices from Friday 6th to Sunday 15th January 2023. Thereafter, the exercise will be reverted to the local government offices of the INEC until Sunday 22nd January 2023. Remember, only those with PVC can vote on election day. Collect your PVC now to vote. It is your duty. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC)
and supported by the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP).
Give me a Risco tomato instead. I go give you imported tomato. Be like saying that people like you, the wicked our country people. You see this Risco, rich people or machico, They take correct natural ingredients, make them. If not made in Nigeria, like a Risco, get many benefits. It help grow our economy. And when you put them inside mouth, it's sweet and it dig the one for body.
So, buy made in Nigeria. Buy a Risco product.
The National Center for Women Development, Nigeria's foremost establishment for gender research, training, and documentation, is 30 years old. To celebrate this milestone, the center invites major stakeholders and the public to the first in the series of the 30th anniversary celebrations, holding as follows. Date: Saturday, 17th December 2022. Venue: the Auditorium, National Center for Women Development, Central Area, opposite CBN, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Chief host: Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallen. Convener: Director General NCWD, Dr. Asabe Vilita Bashir. Planning Committee announcer.
My people, my name is Emeka. Mekus Kamat. Let me get all this people. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when we get bust, then my eye open. I no see that 419 be. Now when EFCC grab them, they come grab me too. Now he make me they warn you. All of them when they do business like me, where they carry big money, well I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. They could shine in my eye because the special control unit against money laundering, what they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect am. If he pass 10 million naira for company, no collect am. Carry am go where? Bank. If you no do am like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license, or they go cuckoo, shut am down. Pata for your hand. No talk say I no want you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Thanks for staying with us. This year alone, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has secured 3,615 convictions of persons apprehended in corruption and financial crimes, with many others still under investigation and trial, while over 134 billion naira has been recovered by the Commission. This was made known by the chairman of the Commission, Abdurrashid Bawa, when he featured at the 62nd session of the State House press briefing. Correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The president in May this year accented to 3 key anti-corruption laws, and these are the Proceeds of Crime Recovery and Management Act, the Anti-Terrorism Act, and the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act. EFCC Chairman Abdurrashid Bawa says with the laws, Nigeria is not only setting the pace for itself in terms of improved anti-corruption drive, the country is also leading in the drive across the sub-region, Africa, and beyond.
One of the key things that the Process of Crime Act have given is the powers of non-conviction based for future. Very important. And from that time to now, I can tell you that we have recovered close to about 50 houses in Abuja alone.
He says the establishment of the Special Control Unit against money laundering domiciled in the Commission is a game changer, as it is necessary to prevent and deter people in corrupt activities by blocking avenues that are being used to launder proceeds of crime.
Process of Crime Act, as well as other relevant laws of public procurement, are very soon, before the end of the year, we are going to publish, auctioning of real estate, across 15 locations. And from the list that was given to me now, which is still being, worked on, we are going to dispose over 160 flats, apartments, across these 15 locations in our country.
It would be recalled that the Vice President launched the Zero Tolerance and Integrity Manual recently, and the chairman says the whole idea is a way of engaging the youth to imbibe the culture of integrity and stressing the need for robust public engagement.
And we have to carry out an audit, from our EFCC recovery account, and we paid into that account 120 billion naira and 29 million US dollars, about 6.6 million euros, as well as about 1.1 million pounds into that. And the president have sanctioned that all those monies should be utilized for what? For the provision of critical infrastructure in this country.
The session focused on the key updates and strides being made by the federal government in the core area of anti-corruption, as well as innovation that have been introduced by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to curb financial crimes and money laundering. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
News from the legislature now. Senate has cautioned the Niger Delta Development Commission against spending funds appropriated for the commission outside the region. This is coming from the Senate Committee on Niger Delta as it screened 13 out of 15 nominees as chairman and board members of the NDDC. Ignatius Nkwo has more.
On the 23rd of November 2022, Senate received list of 15 nominees from President Muhammadu Buhari for confirmation as board members of the Niger Delta Development Commission. 1 month after, the Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs has assessed the suitability of the nominees with emphasis on prudence and adherence to the provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act in project execution.
And make sure that the purpose for which the Niger Delta Commission is established is being achieved.
We are aware that majority of your resources are not spent in Niger Delta. That must stop.
And I have seen the men that I have been nominated along with. We have been in contact with each other. We are going to work as a team because I'm a team player.
Some of the senators and House of Representative members stressed the need for members of the board to come from oil-producing areas, a concern the committee promised to address as Senator Nicholas Tofowomo presented a petition against the nomination of Charles Ogomola from Ondo State.
Are we the three senators jointly, we wrote a petition to the Senate President, and I have a copy of it here. He's from Owo. They don't produce oil there at all.
We need to be more guided. We have appointed the chairman from our state before. That is not from the local government where they produce oil. We'll be ready to support you. We don't want an NDDC that will work like an island.
Two nominees, Pius Odudu from Edo State and Anthony Okanne from Imo State, were not available for the exercise. For more than 5 years, the Niger Delta Development Commission has been without a substantive commission. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And the House of Representatives has approved the establishment of a federal government infrastructure agency to be vested with the responsibility of repairing government property damaged by hoodlums. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports on this and other considerations during Thursday's plenary.
The Federal Infrastructure Rehabilitation Management Agency Establishment Bill seeks coordination and regulation in the rehabilitation of property belonging to the federal government.
Management of government destroyed property by hoodlums, including repair, reconstruction of affected facilities.
The agency, when established, shall sustain a master plan and provide comprehensive database of all damaged property of government. 6 bills were read the third time and passed, among them bill to establish Federal Medical Center Ranu in Kano State, sponsored by Kabiru Al-Hazarum, and bill to establish Federal Medical Center Ondo State. The motion from Representative Babangida Ibrahim requesting provision of a tertiary health center in Funtua was adopted.
Only Funtua senatorial districts lack the presence of the federal medical facility, despite its geographical distance from such facilities available in the states.
House members considered and approved 15 bills as the committee of the whole, while 6 bills passed first reading, among which is the bill seeking the establishment of a Nigeria Climate Change Fund. In response to the invitation extended to the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria to brief the House Thursday on recently introduced monetary policies, the governor sent a communication explaining his inability to attend and that he would come at the earliest possible time.
The CBN governor is a member of the delegation of His Excellency the President Muhammad Buhari, currently attending the USA Apple Summit in Washington, D.C. Please accept, Mr. Honorable Speaker, the assurance of the CBN Governor's highest personal regards and consideration.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Public Petitions is to investigate alleged allocation of more than 300 vehicles to a single auctioneer by the Nigeria Customs Service. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum has advocated the continuation of Better Education Service Delivery BESDA, a World Bank assisted program built to end this year. This was at the end of a workshop with World Bank mission organized by UBEC in collaboration with the Ministry of Education. Abdullahi Musa Soleja reports.
Eliminating or reducing to the barest out-of-school children in Nigeria is one of the cardinal focuses of the Ministry of Education at the insertion of the present administration. To this end, the World Bank committed millions of dollars into the project between 2018 and 2022. UBEC at the federal, while SUBEC at the state levels have been pushing for the success of the project. Assessing the progress of the program and working out modalities for the way forward informed this workshop.
BESDA has yielded very positive results in Borno State. I'm commending the World Bank, I'm also commending the UBEC, and indeed the federal government under the leadership of President Buhari. Because down in northern Nigeria, what we want to do to address the lingering problem of insecurity is to address the problem of education. And one way we can address the problem of education is to reduce the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria.
This program is in 17 focus states. All the states in northeast, all the states in northwest, Ebonyi in southeast, Rivers in south-south, Oyo in southwest, and Niger in north central. We have reduced a lot of out-of-school children. The target was 3 million. I was able to meet our target and even achieve more than what our target was given to us.
Nigeria is one of the leading countries with the highest number of out-of-school children. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
The Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, is urging heads of administration from the authority's zones and state stations to build conducive atmosphere for work and uphold discipline for better service delivery. The DG emphasized on these at the NTA 2022 Heads of Administration Conference held in Abuja. Joseph Otsen reports.
From the zones, states and community stations across the country, these heads of administration are in Abuja to review areas of operations for improved performance. Key issues of successional planning, promotion examination, security, pension, discipline, computerization, and other operations are tabled down.
The most important ingredient of succession plan is the way and manner, the dedication and commitment with which those in positions of authority and leadership lead.
For the Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, and other executive directors, building conducive atmosphere for work, especially motivation, discipline, and adopting emerging trends are key to optimal production.
For one to be a very good administrator, you must be deadline-driven and possess a high level of organizational skills. Good administrators can balance multiple tasks.
Every day they talk about discipline, which every time people turn around and say it's lacking now. If an level 12 officer will not know the limit of the boundaries of a general manager, I think that is a sad thing.
But if you are focused, you are doing the correct thing, certainly it will make NTA great.
Help us guide and direct staff at the station level on new administrative department, not only the admin department, all the other departments.
If there are manpowers, the available ones must be able to be trained in order to carry out the duties.
The theme for this year's annual conference is understanding broadcasting administration beyond personal interests. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Time now to join Michael in Lagos for more reports on network news. Michael?
Thank you, Cyril. The issue of using and misusing bleaching creams represents a huge threat to public health. The situation has, however, become more worrisome. That is why NAFDAC embarked on a sensitization workshop for journalists on the dangers of bleaching creams and regulatory control in Lagos. Lynn Neneke reports that the workshop will be replicated in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
Despite the fact that bleaching, toning, lightening have negative side effects, many dark-skinned people remain determined in their resolve to achieve lighter skin. It has become challenging that Nigeria and indeed the black human race is facing skin epidemic.
We want you to pay attention.
This sensitization workshop is therefore meant to equip journalists with the requisite knowledge on the dangers of the misuse of bleaching creams and the innate consequences, as well as providing Nigerians with the right decision about safeguarding their health.
Products that are supposed to be used as prescription medicines should not be offered on the same as cosmetics. They are prescription medicines. There is a place for steroid use under the direction of a medical practitioner.
Speakers lamented the influx of skin bleaching creams and products in the country, which they say have assumed alarming proportions.
When those bleaching agents are applied, they destroy or inhibit the production of melanin. When melanin is inhibited, the production, it exposes the skin to UV rays from the sun. So when the person is exposed to sunlight for extended period, you find that the person is prone to skin cancer.
Experts advised Nigerians to always read the composition of any product purchased to avoid being victims of adulterated cosmetics. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
The period when Nigerians place premium on imported items over domestic products is gradually fading out due to the implementation of the federal government executive order aimed at promoting standards and assurance of quality. Towards ensuring compliance within this policy, regulatory agencies are keeping surveillance to prevent the infiltration of substandard goods into the country. Abolade Salami reports.
With several attempts made by governments and concerned authorities to curb production, circulation, and importation of fake and substandard goods, some unpatriotic Nigerians still devise dubious means of circumventing the process. To curb the abnormally, regulatory framework and industry-specific recommendations were introduced by the Standards Organization of Nigeria to a certain certification of approved products.
And when it meets the requirement, that means when it conforms, then it is given a MANCAP certificate. And that MANCAP certificate means mandatory conformity assessment program. The government expects that whatever you produce within the country, whatever you are selling out to consumers, must meet the minimum requirements of the standard.
Since the regulatory body made it difficult for manufacturers of substandard products to operate freely, Nigerian market is being sanitized and domestic products are gaining ground even beyond the shores of the country.
We've been doing a tremendous work to make sure that the cables that are produced in member companies are of best standards, and we have continued to maintain this standard, and that is why Nigerian cable is termed the best cable that you can actually see in the markets.
And almost all our products are MANCAP certified. And so it helps us because we work with standard, and so we maintain the standard. And since quality is our promise to the nation, that is why we have good relationship with SON from inception.
Key players say sustaining this momentum is key to economic prosperity, since standards is the life and blood of any country desirous of growth. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
Me, it depends you, it depends us, it depends everybody. Yes, but not shit. Starter, come out, it no go suffer. This one they talk and make them go if they want go. This one they talk, we go come out, we go. This one say, make we scatter, make we burn, make we do everything. When you scatter finish, where you go? Okay, you go take private jet, carry your family go. But make I ask you, what about your uncle, mama, auntie, brother, sister? What about them? Remember, who throw stone for market? You don't know whether the stone go touch your own person. If the thing will go come out from your mouth, you no go fit gather us together as one people. Shut up with please. War no get friend. You don't know language, you don't know anything. So if our we get too much, make we sit down at the table of dialogue. Nigeria na my own, Nigeria na your own, Nigeria na our own. Make we come together and keep them together.
Yeah. This is the moment we've been waiting. It's time to rise up, do it again. Africa, do your dance now. God, do your winning dance now. So we never lose it again. We gon' rise up. Yes, we gon' rise up. Africa rise up. Yeah. Africa rise up. Yes, we gon' rise up. Africa rise up.
A body has been found, possibly a child.
I think I have something.
I think it's the ritual murder.
Hold on. That's the cover for this morning. What do we know about the so-called senior court members?
It appears their real strength lies in their members now in government, judiciary, business, and the police.
Now this is getting interesting.
President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with the family, friends, and professional colleagues of Nigeria's ambassador to Spain, Ademola Seriki Cyril, whose passing has left the government in shock. President Buhari recalls his meeting with the late nationalist who exuded an enterprising nature and patriotic zeal during his official visit to Madrid, Spain, earlier in the year. The President urges family members, the diplomatic corps, friends and relatives to approximate the legacies of the diplomat, especially in nation building at this trying period of loss, pain and reflection, and praise God to receive his soul. When news of the death of Nigeria's ambassador to Spain and permanent representative to UNWTO broke, it came as a rude shock to the nation and the diplomatic community. Anthony Forson takes a look at the man, Ademola Seriki.
Born in 1959, Ademola Razak Seriki, popularly known as Ademola Seriki, had his education in Nigeria and the United States. The deceased, an experienced lawyer, international programmer, and IT project management consultant, is also an inspirational and motivational speaker with legal background in business law. His public service career is worthy of reflection. In 1992, he became the senatorial candidate for Lagos Central District constituency on the platform of the defunct NRC. Before joining the APC, he was a chieftain of the PDP. He served as Minister of State for Interior, Minister of State for Defense, Supervising Minister for Mines and Steel Development, Minister of State for Agric and Water Resources. In 2009, the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, conferred on him the title of Otunare of Lagos. As Nigeria's ambassador to Spain with concurrent accreditation as permanent representative of Nigeria to the United Nations World Tourism Organization by President Muhammadu Buhari, I had this interview with him on UNWTO when Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed went to Madrid, Spain to sign for the United Nations World Tourism Organization Global Conference to be hosted by Nigeria.
It's going to bring a huge reputation and credibility to our country, and they will know that we're in the lead in either of films, music, and entertainment or what have you.
As ambassador, the Nigerian embassy under him was given a facelift befitting of Nigeria.
When I came here, the admin charges was 60. I reduced it to 50. For children, it was 40. I reduced it to 25. Now we have ID. We have ID cards. I have established NCS, Nigerian Citizen Services ID card. So that NCS card, in case you don't have your passport has expired, or because there's no booklet, you can use the ID to identify yourself among among Spanish police. So that's what I have established. These are the reforms I have made.
He spoke of his commitment, love, and passion for fatherland. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
And the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar likewise expresses condolences over the death of Ambassador Ademola Razak Seriki. He describes the late Seriki as a patriot whose genteel attitude bore a distinctive trademark in all assignments he undertook. Atiku Abubakar prays Allah to forgive his sins and grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus. And the body of Salimota Idu Suleiman, The principal accountant with the Nigerian Television Authority Channel 5 Abuja has been laid to rest according to Islamic injunction. Hawa Gimba reports that Salimata Idu Suleiman died Thursday morning in an accident while on her way to work.
Lowering the body to Mother Earth at Muslim Cemetery, Amir, Abuja Muslim Forum, Imam Lukman Ahmed urged families, friends and relations to see what happened as Allah's wish. He said the late Salimatu was a devoted Muslim, faithful wife and a good mother worthy of emulation. The Muslim faithful had earlier prayed for the repose of the soul of the late mother of four before taking her to her final abode. Late Salimatu Ido Suleiman died Thursday morning after her car was crushed at the Chikakwere axis of Kubwa by a Kaduna-bound train.
This is a very sad incident. The community is crying.
We quickly rushed here after receiving the distress call, and on arrival, we were able to meet some of the eyewitnesses who were around when the sad incident happened.
Until her death, the late Salimatu was a principal accountant with the Finance Department of NTA Channel 5 Abuja. She is survived by her husband and 4 children. Hawagimba, NTA News.
In other news, redesigned Naira notes begin circulation, although most Abuja residents who besieged banks to seek them this Thursday were disappointed at the limited edition. Leah Katung Babatunde reports that sources within the deposit money banks say it will surely go round, but not at the pace expected by the public.
So precisely on the 26th of October 2022, we got invited to the Central Bank of Nigeria for an emergency briefing, which was eventually going to change the look of Nigerian currencies, perhaps forever. Now, Governor Emefiele announced that the currency was going to be redesigned, and of course, he gave his reasons for that, to include counterfeiting and other sharp practices.
Furthermore, we believe that the currency will help deepen our drive to entrench cashless economy, and it will be complemented by increased minting of our e-Naira.
Some weeks after that, the president unveiled the newly designed currency, and today being the 15th of December, just as the bank had notified the general public, the new currencies are out. 1,500 and 200 Naira notes.
It's a new horizon. It's what Nigeria will be longing for.
I prefer the 500 with green color. It's looking like a foreign currency.
Okay, about 200 and 1,000.
200 is good, but the 1,000 is looking somehow.
Just the color. But I like the 500 and the 200.
The redesign is good. This is because if it hadn't been done, the concerns would increase. These ones are more beautiful.
A journey to a number of ATMs show that no machine within the vicinities we've been to has been loaded, and we went into some of the banking halls, and of course the currencies were in limited supply, with assurances by banking officials that in the coming days and weeks the money distribution is going to permeate. In Abuja, my name is Leah Katung Babatunde, NTA News.
This is where we bring in Benny Adams with business news. Benny?
Thank you. Welcome to business. Nigeria's inflation rises 21.47% in November 2022 from 21.09% in October 2022, says the National Bureau of Statistics. This is a 6.07% increase compared to November 2021's 15.40%, which means that in the month of November 2022, the general price level was 6.07% higher relative to November 2021, the highest peak in at least 17 years. The NBS stated that increase in cost of importation, production, energy and currency depreciation are responsible for the year-on-year increase. The 0.15% increase recorded month-on-month was attributed to sharp increase in demand usually experienced during the festive season. The food inflation rate also increased to 24.13% on a year-on-year basis, a 6.92% higher compared to 17.21% recorded in November 2021. Core inflation, which excludes the price of volatile agriculture produce, stood at 18.24% in November 2022, up by 4.39% when compared to 13.85% recorded in November 2021. And moving on, the National Sugar Development Council says the nation's sugar subsector has in the last 10 years attracted investment worth $3 billion through the faithful implementation of the Nigeria Sugar Master Plan. The Executive Secretary of the Sugar Council, Zach Adedeji, added that the sector has 5 investors who have signed into components of the Master Plan. Meanwhile, speaking to a trade delegation of the Kingdom of Netherlands led by Director of Sustainable Economic Development, Steve Collett, today in Abuja, Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mariam Katagum, said the federal government welcomes more investment into renewable energy, particularly in the agriculture and horticulture sectors, which offer more incentives to potential investors. Well, it's time for break.
In a third final in 20 years.
This out of these votes, Yakata. Now you can get a GoTV decoder, Go channel, and 1 month of GoTV Jolly for only 4,900 naira, and enjoy all the show-stopping games live from Qatar on GoTV.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
The occasion gives cause for reflection and reminds us of the sacrifice made by our armed forces in preserving the unity of the country.
All ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to this account. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
Now for a bit of sports.
Nigerian national male hockey team are the